what's a big chap like you doing with a lady's vanity case?
Well, I found it in a little second-hand shop, pawn shop in Warsaw. And my opening line was, "Got any Fabergé?"
Are you a collector of Fabergé then?
I wish.
So it's purely on the off chance?
Purely on the off chance. Right. And the answer, of course, was no.
Yeah.
And then a voice from the back said, "Oh, we've got an unredeemed pledge." They were a pawn shop. Right. They had that they'd lent money on, and the owner had not come back.
Carl Faberge ran the most famous jewelry house on earth. From his workshops in St. Petersburg, supplying the Russian imperial court, came the legendary jeweled Easter eggs made for the Tsars, around 50 of them in all, and thousands of smaller treasures like this one, cigarette cases, clocks, vanity sets, each finished to a standard no rival could touch. Then the revolution of 1917 swept it all away. The firm was seized, Faberge fled Russia, and he died in exile in Switzerland in 1920, by his family's account, of a broken heart.
The old adage about buy the best that you can.
Yeah.
Even with this fault, you've done pretty well. I would say anything between 4,000 and 6,000. But a great case by the great Russian court jeweller Carl Fabergé. You don't get much better than that. And to find this in a pawn shop in Warsaw, I think, is pretty good.
Thank you very much.
4 or 5 year old at my grandparents' house where they used to live in Watford in Hertfordshire. I know what it's made of, but apart from that, I don't really know what period it is or what.
The timber here is thuya, and it is one of the most coveted veneers on earth. It is cut not from the trunk, but from the gnarled burr at the root of the North African sandarak tree, which gives that swirling, eye-like figure. The Romans called it citrus wood and prized it above almost all others. Pliny records senators paying the price of a country estate for a single tabletop cut from it. By the time this piece was made, that same exotic grain had become the signature of the very top end of 19th century cabinet making.
I think that if you had it in a showroom done up in a London or showroom where they like this type of high quality, high Victorian furniture, I can see it being £6,500 to £7,000 retail.
You've watched hundreds of these moments. The ordinary object, the jaw-dropping value. But here's the question we never ask: what's sitting in your home? You don't have to wait for the roadshow to come to your town. In seconds, Velco tells you what it is, when it was made, and what it could be worth. It's like having the roadshow in your pocket. Open the App Store and search Velco. VELQO. Or point your phone at the screen. You might be sitting on a fortune.
And the art collector tell them that the painting came from England and it came to Sweden during the Second World War.
The signature belongs to Arthur Hacker, who would go on to become a full Royal Academician in 1910, near the very top of the British art establishment. Today he is best remembered for one haunting picture, The Annunciation of 1892, now in the Tate, and for the society portraits that paid his bills. But it was his open-air work, painted quickly and from life, that the critics prized, part of a wider revolt by young British painters who had trained in Paris and come home determined to chase real daylight onto the canvas.
This sort of painting, this period of painting at the moment, especially in England, and I would say that it's worth somewhere in the region of 60 to 100,000 kroner. 6 to 10,000 pounds.
Now, what's a young man like you doing with acres of royal jewellery like this?
Well, it all started 10 years ago with the cufflinks and the associated letter. They were on a local news programme that's coming up for auction, and I rang the auction house the next day and left the commission bid, and
you got them?
I got them.
Wow. And we want to hear a bit about this letter too. Tell us about that one.
It says, "I send you these links as a souvenir of my coronation when you attended me as one of my pages. George R.I."
This is the jewellery of royal duty. The small tokens a monarch hands down to mark loyalty and service. The cufflinks at the heart of it were a coronation gift, presented to a page of honor, one of the teenage boys, chosen from noble families, who carry the king's robes at the crowning itself. The young man who owned these served at the coronation of George VI in 1937, and what makes them extraordinary is not the gold at all, but the letter that came with them, written in the king's own hand.
That's right, yes.
I reckon this is a collection that's worth, well, £10,000–15,000 as a group, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Where are you going to go from this? Are you going to get a Fabergé one?
I'd like to, but I think they're a little expensive for me just at the moment.
Well, you've given your heart and soul to all of this, and I think you're going to give it for the rest of your life, and I think it's marvellous. Thanks so much.
Before you go, a quick word that could save you from a costly mistake. Every week, treasures like the ones you just watched are sold at car boot and yard sales for pennies by people who simply didn't know what they had. Don't let that be you. With Velcro, just snap a photo of anything in your home, and in seconds you'll know what it really is and what it's really worth. And it's completely free. Point your phone's camera at the code on screen now, or search the App Store for Velcro, the V-E-L-Q-O-N-O before you let it go.